Hi there, it's Rachel Gregg, and in today's video I want to share with you our new stencils. We have 4 new large stencils, 4 new medium-sized stencils, and 4 new small stencils. So I want to share with you some ideas on how each of them can be used and the idea behind each stencil. So we have 2 large pattern stencils. This is the honeycomb and the checkered. Now these are based off of our background stamps of the same name. And then we have some design stencils, which is the tall flowers and the tropical leaves. Now these are a little bit difficult to see on screen, but they do include the positive and the negative on these ones here. So you do get, I'll just show you some that are open. They're a little bit messy because I've been using them, but you can see here the tall flowers, how you get the open shape there, and then you'll also get the mask as well. So the mask is really fun if you want to spray ink over the top and leave it blank underneath, or if you want to do gel printing with these large flowers. So there's lots of different options that you can use those for. And the same with the tropical leaves stencil. Sorry, I'm just trying to grab that out of there. So you have the open shapes and then you have the masks as well. So I'm just going to show you some projects that have been created using them. Now first off, we have here just an art journal page here using the checkered background. Now with our pattern stencils, the most simplest way to use them is you can just spray ink through them or put paint through them, and then you get these really nice backgrounds that you can start working with in your art journals. This one here, I was also mucking around with the honeycomb and created a really nice wet honeycomb look to that. Using that checkered also, this is on craft, so it looks really nice also for a more subtle brown look on craft. If you want to use it for tracing inside planners or notebooks, if you wanted to do like a mood tracker or some type of tracking thing for the month, you can just pick out some honeycomb shapes and then just draw that into your planner. With the tropical leaves stencil, you can just put some shimmer paint through it or some dilutions paint, any type of paint, and just decorate. This is just a junk journal there. So I've just sponged some paint through there on the tall flowers, just over some backgrounds. This is the large tall flowers, just using some different types of distress inks. And then again, just using up some paint, you can create some backgrounds there, and then also some more shimmer spray backgrounds using the checkered. And you can also put texture paste through them. I'll show you one here using the texture paste. Here's some more using the tropical leaves stencil and a little bit of a checkered here for the border. Another page here, this is showing the checkered stencil here, but with some texture paste through that. So you can get some really nice texture as well. And then also flipping up the back here, where I've used that same shimmer spray for the honeycomb. You can see there how beautiful that looks on the craft, and also with that checkered. So there's lots of different ways you can use the large stencils, and you can use the small stencils in exactly the same way. Also with the checkered, because it has that same pattern, I'll just show you here. So if you wanted to sponge over the top, and then if you wanted to create a double color, just move it to the side and then use a different color over the top, and then you've created like a 2-tone checkered background, and that creates some really nice backgrounds for cards and for your art journals and other projects. The tall flower stencil also looks really great when you layer it up. So if you use the large flower and then the medium flower and the small flower and put them on top of one another, you get some really nice effects as well if you use them with different colors. The tropical leaves stencil looks really great when you use them with different colors and layer them up on your cards. The checkered stencil looks really great in lots of different colors, and it also looks fabulous when used with gel printing, so you can get some really grungy backgrounds. Now let's take a look at our medium stencils. We've got 2 stencils that are from our word block stamps, so the friendship stencil and the smile stencil. And then we have the journal lines stencil and the journal block stencil, and these are really fun to use in your art journals. So let's take a look at some of the projects. So here's just a little card here where I've just used the friendship stencil for the background and just sponged that onto the background. And you can also use it with texture paste, like you can see here in this journal, if I can just move that around to show you the texture there. So I've just put texture paste through the stencil and then just gone over with some scribble sticks on top. The other good thing about those word stencils is that you can just section off some of the words. You don't have to use the whole stencil in your project. So if you just want, like, friendship warms the heart, or just certain little words from these stencils, you can do that. And you can also use pens to draw through them, or paint, or just sponging some ink. Now let's take a look at these journal lines and the journal block stencils. I wanted to have some guides here for art journaling, so if you wanted to draw some lines, you had a nice little template where you knew that you were drawing some straight lines. We also created some wavy lines, some angled lines, and also a little fun swirl. So let me show you some fun projects with that one. Just got here in the Dina Wakley Craft notebook. You can see here, this is the swirl. So I've just drawn the swirl with some pencil and then just drew my journaling, or wrote my journaling over the top, just using different coloured pens. So that's a fun little way to do that. So you can actually draw through them with pens, or if you wanted to, you can sponge distress ink through them, or any type of ink. On this page here, I've sponged distress ink in an orange colour through the line stencil, and I've done it over that part of the page, and then over here on the right hand side and a little bit down the bottom. And so using that orange ink, it just makes it really subtle because it goes or blends in with the background, and then you can write over the top using a black pen or something like that. So it just depends on how bold you want those lines to be, but given that you've got lots of different shapes, you've got lots of different options for your art journal, and you can mix and match and use lots of different ones together, or, you know, different styles together. You don't just have to use one, like the straight lines or something like that. You can use lots of different ones on the same page. You can also use the different sections as a template if you wanted to create your own words, or if you wanted to create a larger section. You don't have to do the little tiny lines. You can just draw the top and bottom line and then create your own lettering inside. Now let's have a look at the journal block stencil. Now these are a long rectangular shape of journal lines. So we've got the straight and the angled, the wavy and the dotted for this one. And these ones are really good to use on tags. So they fit a size 8 tag really easily, and with a little bit of space top and bottom, but you can repeat the pattern if you want it to go longer. So this is a tag just using the angled lines, and I've just drawn the lines and then wrote a quote inside of that. And then here are some other tags that are ready to go. So that's just those straight lines there. And then I've got the dotted ones here, and then the wavy ones that you can see there. So that just gives you lots of different options. And I mean, I've done them on tags here because that's how they were designed to fit. But of course, you could just use this directly onto your art journal pages, or if you wanted to create long strips of things to put inside your projects or on your cards, or even if you wanted to write inside your cards, you could do that and just use these little lines as a little guide and create your own quotes inside there. So I hope this has given you lots of different ideas on how to use these new stencils. They're all now available at the Darkroom Door website at darkroomdoor.com, or ask for them at your favourite craft retailer. Thanks so much for watching.